Good evening, Facebook and YouTube. Welcome to another edition of the MMB Live Show. I'm Angela Green, Executive Director of On Location Memphis. So we have a really good show lined up for you today. We're in the month of October, and for many, this is the scariest month of the year. And with that in mind, MovieGo is hosting several events over the whole month of October called Scream on Screen. And we're very happy that we have the founder and CEO of MovieGo with us tonight, Dellguan Coleman, who's here to tell us all about all the scary events that they have planned for the month of October. And as always, we have some entertainment news for you for film and music, my co-host, Christie Taylor, as well as the MMB track of the month. So hit the like button, share the screen, let everybody know that the MMB Live Show is about to start right now. Hey, Christy, how you doing?
Hey, Angela. I'm good, girl. It's been a full Monday, but here it is.
I know.
The first Monday of October. We in the fourth quarter.
Woo! Yes. I mean,
right?
It's hard to believe. I mean, 2021 is almost over. I mean, man, it's just like yesterday. It was just starting. So here we go.
Here we go.
And
you know what? I am excited, though, to have, even though I'm not a big connoisseur of horror thriller movies, because Scream too. I know. I'm really super excited to see more Black filmmakers moving into this genre, or more importantly, because there have been people in this space, but really being able to showcase our form of scary, other than just scary movies by the Wayans.
Right. I mean, I've heard a lot about Candyman, which is out. Many people said that it was more suspenseful than per se scary because of the social commentary that was in it.
And shout out to her because she, of course, box office hit, first time having a budgeted film of that size. And of course, she worked with Jordan Peele and others in that space. So definitely the social commentary probably took out some of the scary, but definitely it was psychologically enthralling.
Yeah. Exactly. Absolutely. So what we have going on in the film industry?
Ooh, I got to put my glasses on for this one. Okay. Do you remember Black Widow?
Yes.
Okay. Marvel Comics, MCU, which of course, Marvel Comics Universe. And one of the lone female, I guess, protagonists in the universe is Natasha. Okay. I can't say her name right. And Scarlett Johansson has been playing this character in the Avengers and throughout the entire series, and she finally got her time to be in the spotlight with Black Widow. And when it came out, do you remember the drama that happened, the way they released it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that dual release model, very controversial for Disney, that streaming and theatrical dual release model. HBO Max has had, Warner Brothers, they haven't had much pushback behind it, but Disney, they caught a lot of flack behind it.
Well, mainly because she felt like, the guys have been able to get their movies released in the traditional way, which maximizes the box office. And just checking out the box office, she was like, you all have been basically messing with my coins. And she promptly sued them for the way they released her movie, because she felt like it impacted her box office numbers. Now, of course, let me check this out real quick, everybody. I'm checking the box office numbers now. It said currently Black Widow is the highest grossing domestic movie of 2021 with 181.5 million in the US, and the fifth highest grossing movie of the year worldwide with 371 million. So at face value, even though that's a large number for us filmmakers, that is still far below Marvel's expectations, which is what her point was. Like, the way you released my movie impacted my box office numbers. But can you talk about, as attorney Angela Green, what has now happened with the lawsuit?
So I just recently read that they've settled the lawsuit. And this case in particular is quite interesting because there's a lot going on here. I mean, it's not just that they just upped and released her film differently from the other films on purpose. It's not like they didn't have a good reason for wanting to, maybe do something a little bit different with this specific release. But the way that they went about doing it by just basically doing it without even having any type of conversation with her, I
Right.
think that was probably the most problematic of the situation as all. Again, according to their original contracts that they signed well before 2020 and the pandemic, was that she would have an exclusive theatrical release, which was the normal industry standard way of releasing a film. You have a window of time that is only exclusively in the theaters before it would hit the streaming and the VOD and the DVD and the just the other tiers of distribution. Of course, 2020 hit, the pandemic basically took its place in our world, and it basically turned everything upside down. And so now everyone, for many months we were not in the theaters at all. And once we got into 2021, the film was Black Widow was scheduled to release in 2020. It was pushed back because of the pandemic to 2021. And then once we got into 2021, everything wasn't just automatically back to normal.
Right.
I mean, some people were still not going to the theaters. Some
Right.
people still wanted to get their films released at home. And so I think Disney, they made an executive decision to accommodate everyone. We're going to accommodate the fans. They were thinking in terms of does the fans want? Some
Wow.
fans want to go into the theater. Some fans want to experience it at home. We want to be socially conscious, and therefore we're just going to release it, but we're just going to do the dual release. And they made that executive decision, and she did not take too kindly to them making that decision, because her contract says theatrical release. And I actually kind of agree with her. You're going to look at the contract based on what was the industry standard at the time that it was signed, not based on what's going on right now.
Mhm.
And I do believe for them to go into that dual release model, it did warrant a renegotiation, or at least a conversation with her about it, as opposed to just doing it. And she felt that it was going to cut into the numbers. Now, the thing is, the pandemic is what really cut into your numbers. You know what I'm saying? That was going to cut into your numbers regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But even, that's not going to change. But having that dual release probably cut a little bit more into the numbers per se. I mean, she's the highest grossing film right now, so maybe not under these.
It's that's the wording. The wording is the highest grossing film of 2021, but lower than the
but
Marvel
it's post-pandemic. It's post-pandemic. You know what I'm saying?
However, 2 Marvel movies just came out and killed it at the box office.
So that was now Shang-Chi. Now that was the thing too. Shang-Chi came right after her, and it did not have a dual release model.
Correct.
And it did very well, but is she still outpacing Shang-Chi?
Yeah, of course she's outpacing it based upon cumulative numbers, but she's looking at that first weekend, which is what every A-lister wants. They want that first weekend release numbers to be strong, just like the movie that just came out, and Venom. Once again, it's all about that first weekend. So to her point, if you had provided her the space, even if it meant pushing the movie back some more, she could have gotten her strong first weekend box office numbers.
Which is what she was looking for. So they've settled with her, and they seem like everyone is happy now. We'll see.
Well, it seems like they say, based upon the love letters that they wrote each other, like, okay, we'll work together in the future. Of course, Disney is saying that, but one article noted, but Disney has a lot of companies, so she could be working with Disney, but who's to say she'll still be in the MCU, the Marvel Comic Universe? But she actually had said previously she no longer wanted to even play the character. So,
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she never does anything else in the MCU, because one, her character was killed off. her character.
However, we are talking about the MCU, so characters
and we're in the multiverse as well. But the thing of the matter is, the multiverse is usually, she could come back in the multiverse in another, universe.
Storyline.
Storylines. Yeah. No, I mean, she could be herself, but from another multiverse. So we know we're in there, so it could happen. But if it doesn't, I understand that as well.
Well, I will say this, flipping over to music news. I'm taking over today. Music news, Britney Spears.
She stay in the news. Did you see that? Did you see her documentary?
I did not, but I did. Did you see?
I watched both of them. One released earlier in the year, and I forget which network that was on. That was the one that prompted,
was that the one that helped spear was that part of the one that helped the groundswell of the hashtag Free Britney Spears?
Yes, and it got our what's our gentleman name, Timberlake, to come out and apologize, publicly apologize to her and Janet Jackson. So that was the first documentary. Well, another one has just premiered on Netflix called Britney versus Spears, and it kind of pretty much gears more toward, as opposed to talking about her whole life, it's talking specifically about this conservatorship and how she ended in the conservatorship and just everything that has gone on in her quest to be released from the conservatorship.
Which her father was overseeing.
Jointly. He was never by himself, but
it was always another
attorney that was working with her. But she senses, because she feels as though, according to this documentary, that basically they're treating her like a slave. They got her working like a horse so that she can basically pay the expenses and the lifestyle of everybody all around her. When you're conservative, when your guardian is making $3 million over the life of the conservatorship, that's a pretty penny. So it's interesting. So it's a little sad as well. But
like with Charlotte, just like Charlotte Johansson, the judge has ruled in her favor.
Yeah. Oh, now that is news to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Britney is free, and she's thanking her fans. Yeah, she thanked her fans on Twitter and on her social media. She thanked the hashtag Free Britney followers and fans.
At the end of the documentary, it noted that her father had stepped down and her father had recommended that the conservatorship be dissolved. But that was the end of it. So I hadn't seen anything since I watched the documentary. So she is free.
Britney is free. Okay, last but not least, and this is not something to prep for our scary discussion, but Kanye West has filed trademarks on his mother's name. Of course, Donda is his deceased mother, who he named his latest project after. But now he's trademarking the name for products. I'm
not surprised. That's a businessman. That's a smart businessman.
That's a businessman, a smart business. Okay,
smart businessman. So I'm not surprised by that at all. It makes total sense.
And why do you say it makes total sense? I want to hear from your perspective.
Well, because he's using that name for business purposes. I mean, it's the name of his album. He's probably going to be using it on a line of products, and it's a part of that legacy that he's trying to build, on his mother. So I think it's great, and he needs to protect it and make sure that it stays within the family, because just the mere fact that he's using it, it's already has garnered a level of value and recognition.
Well, he will definitely be using that in the tech space, particularly with wireless equipment, possibly things that are connected to the music industry and beyond. So, matter of fact, let me see. They said everything from wireless headphones to decorative magnets. So, so he's definitely going to keep it in the family. So that's the film and music news for this October 2021. MMB Live.
MMB Live.
Wow, you
Quality TV.
wanting to wrap up so I can go watch some Quayle TV. Shout out to Memphis's own Deshauna, who is the founder of Quayle TV. And she's definitely doing it for the culture, not just the culture, the global culture. I love that.
Absolutely. I love it as well. And speaking of homegrown movie directors, creators, entrepreneur, we are happy to have with us tonight one of Memphis's very own, the founder and CEO of MovieGo. They are hosting their Scream on Screen events for the whole month of October, and we are just happy that he's here to share with us what's going on with MovieGo. Welcome, Dellguan.
Dellguan Coleman. I'm in a singing mood tonight.
That's a good thing.
Wow.
Always,
So
always.
Scream on Screen 2, which of course 2020 you did your first, and here it is 2021. And I'm loving the logo. I'm loving the merch. Come on, merch.
Oh, you know,
Thank you.
Well, all about the merch now.
Yeah, I gotta
all about the merch now. What you say?
I gotta make sure y'all get y'all. So I got
Yes, sir.
shirts, hoodies, and spaghetti straps for people that want to lounge around and
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
So
Yeah.
for those who don't know what Scream on Screen is, just tell us exactly what it is and how you all came up with the whole concept.
Well, last year, I just wanted to give back because I do events every year. So I was like, well, I'm gonna do something free for the public, and I was gonna do it for 3 days. Scream on Screen. I was gonna do and I'm into horror now because I'm like, man, we don't have any black horror characters or anything besides Candyman. And then once I put it up, a 3-day event turned to a 31-day event because people start submitting and challenging directors and writers to, move the pen and think, outside of the typical box. Like all we could do is drama and, comedy. I want to get some horror money or, create that.
It's so good to see this because there is, I think, a new entry into this space. It's been done, since the 60s and 70s, but it's never been able to be at the forefront. I mean, of course, I know that we're dating ourselves if we talk about, the Black Dracula and things of that nature. Even the sci-fi, our entry as Black filmmakers into those spaces have been really cut short. So it's really good to see once again that there's a groundswell of filmmakers who want to move into this space. Indeed.
Absolutely. So what are the different what are the events? Are they just movie screenings or are there other types of events? And are they online?
It works. Well, it works like this. So last year was like we show. Now we don't discriminate. We play all horror films, but I just pushed the envelope to tell Black writers and actors to, hey, let's create some horror. And if it's not announced, I don't think people are quite aware because that's never the narrative. Like, we don't have a Chucky doll or Freddy Krueger or anything like that. So with that being said, it works like this. So every Wednesday and Friday we interview somebody, from wherever. I'm talking about from all over, man. They submit stuff, and then we show an indie horror film every day. And then on the 31st, we'll be at Flavor Shack, and we're going to do a live indie film night with horror. And we'll have the director and the actors there, and we watch the horror films. We're going to have best costume design. Cash prizes for the best costume. We're just going to have a good time, and then you get to meet different writers and thinkers. And also we'll be premiering the roundtable, the directors roundtable for MovieGo. Okay. So we already shot it, and we'll be dropping it this month. So this will be the Halloween edition or the October edition. And also we've connected with like the PC band they're doing. It's called Booth something. They'll be doing their event. I was on the 31st. Theirs on the 30th. So we'll be covering that. So now we're linking up with people that's doing pretty much horror activities. Also, the Fear Zone. It's a black haunted house. So, but you'll hear about that on the round table.
Okay.
So how can we get the list of activities? Because that's quite a bit. We have the screening is every day from local filmmakers.
And where are the screenings? Are they online, virtually?
Yeah, screen on screen. So just type up screen on screen and send an invite and we'll let you in. So right now we got like 700 and some members.
Okay.
Is that on Facebook or on your website?
Not on Facebook.
Okay, so it's on the Facebook group. Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. And then the interviews you say are every Wednesday?
The live interviews, like the virtual interviews,
Correct.
Wednesday and Friday.
Wednesdays and Fridays. Okay, excellent.
Yeah, and then on the 31st on Halloween we'll be at the Flavor Shack,
which is in South Haven, which is in Olive Branch.
Yeah.
Olive Branch, Mississippi.
Right.
Right across State Line Road, everybody. So if you are in the Southeast area, just head on over to Flavor Shack and Olive Branch. I love it.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I'm excited. I'm sure many people who see this, they're going to be excited. And since we know we have something that we can do with Scream on Screen for the whole month, everybody can just kind of plug in where, get in where they fit in. So whether they're on Facebook or whether they decide to come out on the 31st, have somewhere nice to go, have fun with the kids and get a good scare, they can do that as well. So,
and also on the 10th, we're doing because I linked up with a lot of people. So it's this guy named Nakia from LA. He just came in and he's doing a casting call on the 10th. It's on the Movie Go page and it's also on the Scream on Screen page. So if there are any actors or actresses looking at this, wondering, hey, how can I find out more? You can go to Movie Go or go to Scream on Screen. And, if you're looking for some work, come to Movie Go and you can see. I'm just linking up with a lot of people that are kind of sick of being boxed in or they just need a voice or a home. So
that's beautiful.
Sounds good.
Speaking about giving a platform and a space for people to have a voice, the filmmakers that you're featured, can you give us an idea of some of the movie titles and the directors that are going to be featured this month in Scream on Screen 2?
I just did the trailer to this guy. This was last month we did it was in August, right? Okay, so we did the indie film night.
Time is flashing.
Okay, all right, so we did the indie film night, and the guy sent me this movie or a short called The Shadow Man, and I was like, "Hey man, I see more," and I really saw the whole thing. So I got the trailer. I just personified it, and I asked him, I was like, "Man, let me personify," no different from Christopher Nolan's Batman. You can see the difference when he directed. So. I just released a trailer for The Shadow Man, and y'all can check that out. It's some good movies, man. From Hide and Seek, The Shadow Man, Airbnb. We're gonna re-show that.
Okay.
In different ones.
Okay.
Excellent. Well, we are excited that Dellguan is supporting, as he said, many organizations and filmmakers in the Mid-South, and he's also actively involved in helping us with the Auteur Club, which is a place for discovery, growth, and collaboration among talented, creatives. And of course, if you're interested in becoming a part of the Auteur Club and linking up with Dellguan Coleman, just go to onlocationmemphis.org/auteur. And yes, we're looking to do greater things in all the genres, including horror.
Yeah, I love horror now.
Did I do good on that?
Yeah, you did. You did pretty good.
Thank you.
Well, Dellguan, I want to thank you for joining us tonight, and just keep us in mind on the next thing. We'll definitely be here to support you. on the next event. So be sure to let us know what you got going on coming into the Thanksgiving and Christmas holiday, because we'll definitely have you right back here on the MMB Live Show. All right.
Appreciate
Thank you. Take care now.
All right.
All right. You know, that is a jam right there.
I know.
Shout out to Rowdy.
Shout out to Rowdy. That's a good one. That's definitely a good one. I love it every time we play that commercial. I want to get up and dance a little bit.
And of course, we are talking about Rowdy, who is one of our music publishers in the Memphis Music Banq. Yep. And if you're a music producer in any form of fashion, a musical creator, be sure to check out the Memphis Music Banq with a Q.com for a lot of details on how you can put your music in the bank. Yes, make that deposit and allow filmmakers and other visual creators an opportunity to pull that money out the bank, or I should say the music out the bank.
Out the bank.
And make y'all some money. I'll say it like that.
Absolutely. So our track of the month is...
Speaking of the bank,
our track of the month is Reflection, written by Dwayne Wilson.
Oh,
and
hi,
Dwayne Wilson, he's one of our producers in the bank. I'm gonna go ahead and play a little bit while we... Can you hear that?
Yes.
So Dwayne Wilson is a producer, music creator from Memphis, Tennessee. He actually specializes in all types of genres. So he's definitely a very versatile producer. He is once signed to the legendary that he calls a Suave House Records, which and so he contributed music to help with the classic foundation of Southern rap. So T-Mix, 8 Ball and MJG, Crime
8 Ball and MJG. He worked with them. Okay.
Circle, Kirk Whalum, Carl William Smith, Thomas Earl Jones III, and George Jackson. He's also had a couple of placements. Expressions is one short film that he had a placement in, as well as M. Pearl's AAL movie, which is another one that's now on Netflix. So Dwayne is very versatile. And this track here, Reflection, is one of his...
I like the fact that, yes, this is definitely as a tag, romantic, slow tempo. Mm-hmm. It could be a really great placement. I mean, first of all, this is something... it reminds me of elevator music. Definitely if you have a visual scene like a coffee house or a jazz bar, this could really be that background music. Mm-hmm. It really would fit very well. For whatever reason, like a high stake rollers casino. It's like a heist movie. Give me a heist movie with the James Bondish, and they're really, they're walking in, and it's very, somebody's going to probably get into a very heroic, a big, because they're setting us up for a calm, sex, romantic situation. And then all hell breaks loose. I love it.
Yeah, it has a very smooth, easy, feel to it.
Right,
really
right.
Good. Feels really, really good. So this track is in the bank. It is available for licensing right now. As you can see, this is the licensing page for Reflections. And so if you're interested in Dwayne Wilson, he has several tracks. This is just one of several that he has in the bank. So feel free to go to the Memphis Music Bank, BANQ.com. Check out Dwayne Wilson and many of the other producers who are in the bank.
Make your deposit if you are a music creator yourself, so that you too can be featured here with us on MMB Live.
MMB Live Show. So we are coming up on the end of another episode, Christie. I mean, it goes so fast when you're having fun.
When you're having fun, indeed. But you know something? While we're having fun, can I give a shout out to everyone who has joined the Memphis Music Bank, as well as all those who have joined the All Tour Club? And I had the pleasure last month of hosting the producers roundtable in a private live stream, and had a great time chatting with our special guest. You all can actually check out that discussion once you become a member of the All Tour Club. And we actually have more fun things happening this month. Angela, take it away.
So this month we have social media marketing for film and music. Mr. Glenn Graham, who is a social media strategist. He's going to be exclusively in the Auteur Club there to share his knowledge, information, and answer your questions. He's using his vast knowledge in the field of marketing, public relations, and branding. He's going to discuss how to develop a social media campaign that will connect to your audience. That's going to be October 18th, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, live within the Auteur Club. So if you are not currently a member, please go to onlocationmemphis.org. You'll see on the homepage, the Auteur Club, click there, and you will be able to submit your information for an invite. It is invitation only. We are looking for music and film creators and industry professionals, and really anyone else, screenwriters, photographers, videographers, anyone who has anything to do with film creation and want to network and connect. Feel free to join us, submit that information, or send us an email at info@onlocationmemphis.org, and we will get that invitation right out to you so you can be a part of the Auteur Club. And also, too, since we're talking about this, we want to also just remind individuals, I know you mentioned it earlier, but if anyone who is a music creator and they want to get their information into the bank, and they're interested in our mixer competition, because the mixer competitions are coming back. Yay! Just wanted to just put this information out here. Info@onlocationmemphis.org. We are always looking for music creators for the mixer competition as well as for the Memphis Music Bank. And I want to make sure that you have the information so that you can submit that and get in the bank and become a part of that. So I think that is all we have for this edition of the MMB Live Show. It's been a pleasure as always, Christie.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure for me as well. Even though it was scary month.
Even though it was scary month, you know, I don't know. I don't like to be scared.
Scary movie month. Scream on screen.
Scream.
That's a good title.
Screen. I mean, yes, that's a tongue tie. That's a tongue. Yeah, that ties it up. So anyway, thanks everyone for joining us tonight for the MMB Live Show. And we will see you next month right back here, the first Monday of November. You don't want to miss it. Good night.
Good night.